Jiminy Cricket, accompanied by his pet kitten Figaro and fish Cleo, enters the home of elderly woodcarver Geppetto late one night in a small Italian village. Geppetto has finished work on a marionette puppet named Pinocchio. Geppetto makes a wish on a star before going to bed. A few hours later, the star magically brings Pinocchio to life, and he is soon visited by the Blue Fairy, who tells him that he can be a real boy if he acts bravely, truthfully, and selflessly. The Blue Fairy also assigns Jiminy the role of Pinocchio's conscience, teaching him right from wrong. When Geppetto awakens and discovers Pinocchio alive, he is surprised but overjoyed. Geppetto decides that Pinocchio should go to school and sends him there after a few days. However, Pinocchio is soon approached by the con artist fox and cat duo Honest John and Gideon, who convince him that he should live a life of fame in order to truly be a real boy, when their true intention is to sell him to the puppet master Stromboli in exchange for wealth. When Jiminy, with the help of a seagull named Sophia, convinces Pinocchio to stay in school, he is thrown out because he is a puppet. When John places a glass jar over Pinocchio, he decides to go to Stromboli's after all, and Jiminy is powerless to stop him. Pinocchio becomes friends with one of Stromboli's employees, Vitelli, and her puppet Sabina at the theater. Pinocchio puts on a good show for the audience, but Stromboli imprisons him in a bird cage to keep him from fleeing, intending to profit from Pinocchio for all he's worth. Soon after, Stromboli's coach frees Jiminy from the jar, and when he enters the coach, he manages to help Pinocchio escape when Pinocchio has him reach the keys to the cage's lock by telling lies because doing so causes his nose to grow. When Pinocchio fails to return home for dinner, Geppetto, Figaro, and Cleo set out to find him. Soon after, Pinocchio is kidnapped by a coach full of children, led by a charismatic coachman, who is transporting the boys and girls to Pleasure Island, an island where misbehavior is encouraged. When they arrive on the island, Pinocchio is gradually disturbed by the amount of cruelty the children commit, much to the amusement of an obnoxious boy named Lampic. When Jiminy, who had become separated from Pinocchio, returns to the island, he soon discovers that the boys and girls there are turned into donkeys, which the coachman sells to the salt mines with the help of his fog-like henchmen. Pinocchio witnesses Lampic's transformation at a pool hall, and he and Jiminy flee the island before the coachman and his goons can apprehend them. But not before gaining donkey ears and tail. Pinocchio and Jiminy return to Geppetto's but discover that he is not home because Sophia gave him a Pleasure Island flyer to let him know where Pinocchio is and that he sold all of his clocks to buy a boat to go there. Pinocchio reunites with Vitelli and Sabina while looking for Geppetto, who inform him that Stromboli has been arrested and that they have taken over his puppet show. They invite Pinocchio to join them, but Pinocchio declines because he wants to save his father, which causes his donkey parts to vanish. Sophia pulls a rope for Pinocchio to hold out to the sea, where they soon find Geppetto in his boat. When they reunite, they are devoured by Monstro, a giant sea monster. They seek refuge within Monstro's stomach in a massive boat, and Pinocchio devises a plan to make him sneeze by lighting a fire within him. Monstro sneezes them out, but he leads them on a chase that ends with him and the group collapsing on dry land, knocking Geppetto unconscious. Pinocchio believes Geppetto has died and despairs before Geppetto awakens and tells Pinocchio that, despite being a puppet, he has proven himself to be a true boy at heart for all that he has done, and they return home. Jiminy then breaks the fourth wall before the film ends. Subscribe or else Pinocchio's ghost will haunt you tonight from under the bed.